So, with taking permission from our Honorable Vice Chancellor, let us start our event. Inauguration session.
Yes, yes, you start this program. Dr. Giri, start the program. There is some network issue that at the end of Dr. Giri's side.
Hello.
Yeah, Dr. Giri,
Sir, let us start the inauguration, sir.
Yes. You introduce everyone, then we will start.
Sir, welcome and good morning.
Your voice is not clear. You kindly try to reconnect again.
Getting my voice.
It's coming, but it is little bit, is broken. So try to make. Yes, now it is coming.
Today is session two of our webinar series, Cryptography, network security and cyber security, and it is jointly organized with the Islamic University of Science and Technology. So let us discuss about the little bit of our institute. We are having the about 85 courses, different courses running under our university. That is with full swing, and some of the courses related to the theme of the webinar. We are having the BSc as well as MSc in cryptography, network security, cyber security, data science, and blockchain technology, and so on. Even we are having that MTech course in information security. So if any of you have candidate, please contact to our university personnel, and information about how to join, that can be available in our university website. In the inaugural session, we are having we have our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Soikat Mitra, and Professor A. Jun, Dean School of Engineering and Technology, Islamic University of Science and Technology, and we are having three eminent speakers. Professor C. Pandurangan, he is from IIT Madras. Professor Sedat Eglelek, Ondokuts, Men's University, Turkey. Professor Fakalli, University of Electronics Science and Technology, China. Now, may I request to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, to address the gathering, sir.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Giri. So, this is the second session of our series on cybersecurity and network security webinar. And of course, the previous session, it created lots of interest among all our participants and noted speakers. They presented their views in this important area. Cybersecurity, network security, data security are going to be of paramount importance because of the fact that most of these things in near future will happen in digital domain and digital platform. Therefore, data preservation and making this data safe, that is one of the mandate of our present systems and of course this future also. And for that purpose, we need to have more researches in this area. We need to have, we need to generate more professionals in this area to take care of all these activities. And new and new programs, academic programs are coming up in this interesting area, and even new, these research works, collaborative research works are being are taken up by different. We are also trying to take up certain activities, academic and research. And here, the very interesting thing is today, three speakers from different countries, and they are well known in their fields. They will be presenting their opinions, their views, their wisdom for the benefit of today's participants. This from here is from C. Panduraman, then Professor Siddharth Eklelat, and Professor Fagenli. All of them, and of course with us, this one of the important personality from Islamic University of Science Technology, who is our associate partners for all these webinars and all these programs. He has also Professor A.H. Moon. He has joined. So I believe that there will be significant participation from Islamic University of Science and Technology, from our university, and from our all affiliated colleges and other universities as well. Already I am seeing more than 130 participants joined. So this is going to be very interesting and very encouraging and informative session. And my request to all the participants is to take the benefit of all these knowledges as it will be presented by all the speakers. And of course, this outcome of this will be this more interaction, more networking, more collaboration in academic and research activities, as I mentioned earlier. I wish all the best for today's webinar, and I would like to congratulate Dr. Giri for organizing this webinar. And there will be a few more yet to come in the future. I wish today it will be a great success, and all these upcoming webinars will also be great success too. So with this, I would like to conclude. Dr. Giri, you kindly take this program forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable speech. Now, request to Professor A.H. Moon, please share your view with the audience, please.
Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Maitro, and distinguished speakers from different countries and dear participants, I really feel privileged and thank personally Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Maitro, for his leadership qualities, his vision, his dynamism, and particularly in giving opportunity to Islamic University of Science and Technology to be associated or to be part of this great event. The theme is very close to my heart, but irrespective of the fact that whether we work in this area or not, as the Honorable Vice Chancellor clearly stated, how important is the theme and how relevant is it in the present day context. For example, in cryptography, we normally talk about the protection of information by transferring it into a secure format. Similarly, when we talk about network security, we are more bothered about the security when the data, the information is actually out in the network during transmission. Similarly, I mean, we can see the closeness between the physical world and the cyber world. We are more part of the cyber world than the physical world. And this is all happening because of the emergence of a new kind of a network or the devices, which we call as Internet of Things or Internet of Everything. Now, the main challenge before us as researchers is about the security of the data which is generated out of this Internet of Things. Now, it is not that the conventional protocols are not there. I mean, we all know, we have heard about AES, we know what RSA works with, we know Diffie-Hellman, we know SSL, we know SSL certifications, or we know SET platform, etc. But the issue is that the emergence of this new network in the form of Internet of Things, the devices are so constrained in terms of computational resources that these conventional protocols which exist in the public key infrastructure domain cannot be directly ported into these constrained devices. I mean, there are a lot of issues. So one has to come up with new solutions, with new security framework, with new security protocols, so that the basic security primitives in the form of confidentiality, authentication, data integrity, repudiation, or access control, all these security primitives are actually addressed in the new paradigm or in the changing scenario, where we are saying that in the next couple of years, there would be 60 to 70 billion devices connected together. Now imagine these 60 to 70 billion devices, the amount of data that they would be generating and then flowing out into the network, and the security, the security. I was just going through search website, and they annually publish a data, which is called as abuse statistics. Abuse statistics. In 2017, search was reported for around 50,000 such abuses. In 2018, the number of such cases grew up to 2 lakhs, fourfold increase. Last year in 2019, search reported about 4 lakh such abuses. And they're mostly in terms of different attacks or vulnerabilities, covering phishing attacks or covering, port scanning attacks or website defacing, etc. So one has to be very careful as an organization about the security of the information, whether it's a financial organization or it's an academic organization. We as the custodians of the data and information have to ensure that proper security protocols and safeguards are in place. So I'm looking forward to, the experts, especially who would dwell on such, topics wherein they will address these issues, which are sort of burning issues. Also, I'm looking forward, because a lot of research scholars are actually attending this webinar. A lot of students are attending this webinar. So I'm looking forward to research directions, which would come from, eminent professors like Professor Siddharth, Professor Ergen Lee, or Professor Rangan from IT Madras. At the end, I'm again thankful to Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Maitro, for taking along IEST, on the journey of excellence. I'm equally thankful to my colleague, my friend, Dr. Giri, as well as to other colleagues at MAKAUT, for being part of this exercise and for making IEST as part of this exercise. Thank you very much. Over to Dr. Giri.
So Giri sir will be joining very soon.
Hello.
Yes, sir. I think Giri sir has disconnected, sir. Sir,
What is
I
happening?
think Giri sir has disconnected. There is some network problem, I think, sir. It may be some network issue, sir. Sir,
I have kind of another appointment.
yes, sir, you can proceed, sir. VC sir if gives the permission. So Devashish Giri sir has joined. Giri sir.
Okay. Yeah, you can.
Hello. I was disconnected. Hello.
It's okay. I mean, we will proceed. Are you able to see my slides?
Sir, not now.
No, there is no slide.
Let me introduce a little bit about him. He did his BSc University of Madras 1975. Did his MSc from Manchester University.
Please,
in
please,
1977.
don't worry. Just don't worry.
Okay.
I am Pandurangan, IIT Madras. I teach computer science. That's
Okay,
enough.
okay.
Please,
So
don't
now I
worry about it.
Okay.
Let's.
He is now well-known figure on the cryptography and network security. Now
I'm just a
to,
teacher. That's it.
Sir. Okay.
I'm just a teacher. Don't say
Just
anything else.
He was sir, disconnected from the network.
My card is disconnected.
Okay, sir.
Is it okay?
It is coming, sir.
Okay, sir.
That was my granddaughter. Okay, in the background. Are you able to see my slides?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I'm Pandurangan. I'm Anand Rajaraman and Venki Harinarayanan Institute Chair Professor. These two were my wonderful students. They have become entrepreneurs. They are one of the most successful capital ventures in Bay Area, and they have donated more than $1 million to IIT Madras, and then they are among the top donors for us, and they were my students. They did BTech projects under my supervision, and so they would like to honor me and set up me as a as a chair professor. And I first of all would like to thank them for this honor. Actually, I would like to speak more about them than about me. That's the reason why I said don't tell anything about me. It's enough, because if there is 1 minute available, I would like to admire my students than take credit for myself. Okay, now let's begin with this. We are going to look at one of the most exciting technologies that is currently in practice. Cryptography itself is an exciting area, and it is facing a lot of challenging problems. And today's challenges, as outlined by Professor Moon, there are many-fold challenges, technologies, and context and the scenario. Everything changes. So let me motivate you why this proxy re-encryption is an important problem or an interesting problem. So let me skip. These are all the things which are in the slides, which you can see. But the important thing is the following. How did it start? It started with the following issue at Apple. You know that Apple iTunes, they have all their music files encrypted in their database. Okay. Suppose you buy an iPhone and you subscribe for a music. Okay. So let's say you paid $3 and then you have paid for Doom 3 music or something like that. Okay. Some nice movie song. All right. So you have paid the money and it has to come to you. The music file should come to your equipment. The important thing is it has to come only to your equipment. You should not share this one to somebody else. Apple will lose the revenue. Okay. So it has to be customized and then it has to be encrypted with respect to your key. A file that is encrypted to your key obviously cannot be decrypted or used by others. So other equipment, other iPhone users, even if they physically copy the file from your phone to their phone, they cannot listen to that music. It's not possible to. So it is being encrypted to your key. So who will do the encryption? What Apple used to do is it will trust some of the vendors to do the re-encryption. What it will do is it has got the file encrypted in its key. It's there in their database. So even if you hack the database and grab some file, you can't listen to the music. It is all encrypted file. Nothing you will get out of that. So it is safely there. Let's say a song is encrypted in Apple iTunes database. So what it will do is, it will ask some vendor in India or agent or somebody who is authorized or probably who has sold probably the equipment to you, the iPhone to you. It will give the decrypted plain file. It will pass on to him and then ask him to re-encrypt to the iPhone. Let's say I'm the iPhone buyer and I bought a music. To my iPhone's key, it will ask the vendor to re-encrypt. Okay, he will do that. That's not an issue. But what is the problem here? Now he has the music file in plain with him. This is the cause of all corruption. He will now sell that to all kinds of people, unauthorized copy. It's a plain file, right? It is not encrypted. And he would make some money. It's illegal. And they make even CDs and then sell in the market. Therefore, this has become a rampant problem. The intermediaries who are supposed to be honest, they are not doing their job honestly. They do the job, but in addition to that, they take the music, make CD out of it and sell in black market and make a lot of money. Apple has paid enormous amount of money to the music companies, and then it will have the file encrypted. It will also come to you encrypted, but in the meantime, the person, the intermediary, may misuse, may abuse because he was given the plain one. So the Apple was wondering what to do with this. Is it possible to transform an encrypted data under a key, let's say under the key of iPhone, to a key, let's say my key, by a third party? But he should not know what the content are. He should not know anything about the data. He should be completely ignorant of the data, but he should be able to take the ciphertext corresponding to the data with key 1 to ciphertext corresponding to key 2. Is it possible? Well, that is possible. That is what proxy re-encryption enables. What proxy re-encryption does is the following. Okay, there's an example. Before that, here is some. Is there any picture? What proxy is doing? Okay, here. See Alice. Here you can see. It's a ciphertext for Alice. Okay, it's a ciphertext for Alice. It has to be converted into something for Bob. Okay, who will do the re-encryption? A proxy server. This proxy server is given a special key that is called the re-key. So with re-key, the proxy will work on C Alice and produce D Bob. Okay, a ciphertext will be converted. And this re-key he can use to convert, but then he will neither be able to decrypt the Alice file or the Bob file. He will not know what the message he is re-encrypting. Proxy should not learn any information about the underlying file. Okay. Therefore, another simple example is, let's say the Vice Chancellor is going on a long leave and he would like to delegate the important or confidential mails that are coming to him to be handled by, let's say, the Dean administration. Okay. What is the way in which the encrypted file coming to the director be passed on? How can the Dean read that? Obviously, the Vice Chancellor can pass on his secret key to the Dean, and using that key, he can decrypt. Dean can decrypt. But the problem is now Dean can decrypt everything because he has the secret key. So obviously, Vice Chancellor would not like that scenario, or the director would not like that scenario. So what he will do is he will set up a proxy to automatically convert. If there is a confidential mail encrypted coming to him, that will be re-encrypted to Dean's key. And that file can be sent. Dean has a corresponding secret key. He can decrypt and he will be able to see the file and take action. Now, the director or the vice chancellor has not given his secret key, but anything coming to him is passed on as secret. It remains secret because proxy will not know. How do we do that? We will see a concrete scheme, okay? A simple, plain scheme, how it works. Only then you will get an intuitive idea on the way in which it works. So let's see a concrete example. Here is a very famous encryption system. Assume that the files or the data is encrypted according to the classical Elgamal crypto system. Okay, I will tell you what is semantic security and all shortly. In Elgamal, by the way, are the audience familiar with this cyclic group reduction techniques and number theory and all, or can the organizer give some input on the nature of the audience?
All are not doing that, sir.
They are familiar.
Hello.
Hello.
No, they are not familiar. No, few of them are familiar, but not all.
Oh, okay. All right. No, I just want to know at what level I must explain. That's all. If many are quite familiar, I can go a little faster. Otherwise, I will go a little slowly and then make sure that they understand what's going on here. Okay. So basically, you have a large prime number, and Z star Q is set of all numbers that are relatively prime to the prime number. Because it is prime number, you take it as from 1 to Q minus 1. Let's say the prime number P is 11. Prime number, let's say P is 11. You consider the set. You include 0. You don't consider that. 1, 2, 3, up to 10. Okay. So let's not worry about it. Now let's consider the non-zero elements. So in general, if Q is a prime number, 1 to Q minus 1, that is that Z star Q set. Okay. Then you have what is known as a generator for this. This is mathematically a group. Okay, it satisfies the basic group axioms, which you might have perhaps picked up in discrete math, groups, rings, fields, abstract algebra. So it's just a group. What is a generator? Generator is a number in this group which has a property that all its powers will create these numbers. For example, 2 power 1 is 2, 2 power 2 is 4, 2 power 3 is 8. But what about 2 power 4? 2 power 4, this is what is known as Z star Q. That means it is a modulo world. You have the modulo arithmetic you have to do. 2 power 4 is actually 16, but 16 modulo 11 will be 5. So 2 power 4 is actually 5. So all elements will be in this number. 2 power 5 will be 10. 2 power 6 will be 20. 9, 20 mod 11 is 9. 2 power 6 is 9. So if you see, the powers of 2 will generate all numbers 2, 4, 8, 5, 10, 9. When you go further, you will see that everybody is generated as powers. Such an element is called the generator of the group. So G is a generator. G is a generator if its powers generate all the elements. Okay, like I have demonstrated. 2 is a generator. You can see not all numbers will be generator. You have algorithms to find a generator. You have a randomized algorithm to find a generator which has got some useful properties and so on. So we will not, that's a number theoretic part. So we use a generator. All right. The public key are the following: the prime number Q, generator G for the group, and G power A, which is written here, as you can see in this slide, G power A. G power A. These are the public key. Why public key is given? Anybody who want to encrypt will use the public key and then generate a ciphertext. They need not know you. They need not speak to you. They don't have to communicate with you. Public key means it is put in public that whole world knows. If they want to send some secret message, this is the key they have to use. Okay. Let A be a user, and for that user, this is the public key. A has a secret key that is called the SKA. It's simply one of the numbers. He won't tell you. He won't tell the world what that secret key is.
Sir, voice not coming. Hello.
Pandurangan sir, your voice is not coming, sir. Hello, Pandurangan sir. Sir, your voice is not coming. Sir, your
Sir,
voice is not coming, sir.
Pandurangan sir, hello. Hello. Hello, sir.
Maybe
Hello.
he's disconnected. Maybe he's disconnected. Check. Hello, sir. Pandurangan sir, your voice is not coming. Sir, your voice is not coming, sir. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Pandurangan sir, hello.
Pandurangan sir.
Pandurangan sir.
Hello.
Hello.
Pandurangan sir, your voice is not coming. Hello. Your voice is not coming.
Hello.
Pandurangan sir, your voice is not coming. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Now it is
Asking
coming.
password. It got disconnected and then it is asking password.
Sir, you may continue now, sir. Devasis Giri sir, your noise is coming.
Hello. It is asking
Yes, sir. You can
for
continue, sir.
password.
You can
It got
continue, sir. now.
disconnected. The Zoom is asking the password.
Sir, you just reload, sir.
Please enter your meeting password. That's what it says.
You can send it in the mail also, sir. The same password will be required, sir.
There is no password. Earlier, I just clicked on the
Join.
join here. I could connect.
But now the problem is it is asking the password.
Sir, you just log out and re-log in, sir.
That's what I did. Somehow it got disconnected. I didn't know
The
why it got
password,
disconnected.
sir, password is 720.
1 second. I will put 720
701.
701.
Yes, sir.
Oh, please register to join the webinar. I think it has completely forgotten me. It is
No,
asking
sir,
me
you
to
have gone for registration page. So you go through the mail only, sir.
One second.
Then can you say it again?
No. I will. I'm trying to join through the mail.
Yes, I mail it. It is better from mail.
It is better.
Yes, sir, now coming. Yes, sir, visible now, sir. It is coming, sir.
Is it okay?
Yes, sir. Voice echo coming, sir. Please off from another device sound. Leave it. I will look it into it, sir. You just continue,
is it
sir.
okay?
Yes, sir. Now okay. It is fine, sir. Audio
It's
video.
fine. Now I'm able to see the screen. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
So here is the encryption algorithm. I'm continuing my discussion because this is the encryption algorithm. I'm going to do the re-encryption. I'm going to demonstrate the way in which the re-encryption works. Okay. So it's a classical example. So let's see how the encryption is done. The person who is encrypting, okay, to A, he has to choose a random number. That is the first step. Okay, where is that? The first step, he will choose a random number. After choosing a random number, the generator is available. Remember, the public key has got, what are the public key? The prime number Q, the generator G, and Pka. These are the public key. The generator information is available. The message he wants to encrypt is M, and he will generate G power R multiplied by M. Of course, it will be taken modulo Q. That is, you will divide by Q and take the remainder. That is CA1. CA1 is G raised to the R. So a random number is generated. This is called blinder, random blinder. When you use a random blinder, things will be really secure. Okay. Why? This is the simple logic, right? Suppose I have a number in my mind between 1 and 100. What is that number? How will you know? You have no idea. There is some number in my mind. Okay. But now I say I have a number in my mind, X. I add a random number that could be positive or negative, and then I give you that answer as 40. Can you now tell me what that number is? Again, you are as clueless before as you are now. There is no way you would know. 40 you are able to see, but still you have no idea on X because it is blinded by a random value. X could be 1 and R could be 39, X could be 100 and R could be minus 60. You have no idea what that X is. Although you are able to see 40, it is very safe. X is safe. X is in my mind. What is that number? It is very safe. You have no idea what that is. But even if I say 40, it is still safe because of the random blinder. So G power Rm is the message is randomly blinded. Unless this random blinder is unblinded, you can't see the message. It is anything. Therefore, a hacker or a person who is seeing the ciphertext will have no clue about M. That's the idea. So G power R M. There are a lot of people who are on speaker. If they quieten the speaker, it will be clear. Can you ask the people to mute the mic, please?
Yes,
okay,
sir. I muted, sir.
Oh, you can mute it. Thank you. So, C2 is G power A, that is the public key A. This is C2A is nothing but public key A power R. So, two values are computed by the encryptor and CA1 and CA2 are sent to A. Okay. So, X will send CA1, CA2 to A. On the way, if somebody sees CA1 and CA2, it will look like a bunch of two random numbers. That's all. It's just two random numbers. CA1 is some random number multiplying M. Another one is GA raised to some random power. It will look like 9 and 43. It won't make any sense. Both are random numbers. Okay. Audio problem. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. It is coming, sir. It is fine.
Okay. There is somebody who is claiming that. Okay. Maybe it is a problem at their end. No problem. I will continue. So
it is okay, sir.
Now X is X. This is the cipher text, and he will send that to A. If somebody looks at this, they will have no clue. They can't decrypt what that one is. So how do you decrypt it? How is that random blinder is unblinded? So notice that A is known. When A is known, C2 power CA2 power 1 by secret key is A. This is G power AR. G power AR by 1 power A is G power R. See, G power R is discovered without knowing R. This is discoverable by A. Only A will be able to do that, not others. Because A has a secret key, the user A has the secret key small a, and he can invert it. G power R, the blinder is found. So divide. What is CA1? CA1 is G power R M. Divide by G power R. Well, it's actually finding the inverse, but it's put little crudely for ease of understanding. So basically, you are able to get M. This is the way decryption will be done. So the decryption is producing CA1 by CA2 power the secret key. Very simple algorithm. Encryption algorithm is done by a sender. Decryption algorithm is done by owner of the key. Only owner of the key can decrypt. Decryption algorithm may be known, but it can't be run. It is having the secret key as a parameter. So no one else can run that algorithm. Alice or user A will run that algorithm and recover the message. Okay. Now, so A would like to delegate to B, right? A would like to send the message M that is coming to him to B. It could be like a re-encryption to be done by Apple, or it could be the delegation of a director to the D. There is some ciphertext will come to A, but A is not available to decrypt. It has to be delegated to somebody else. So in order to do that, a re-key is to be created. Re-key will be created by A. Okay. So the re-key will be created by A using actually a protocol. What is shown here is a box, but what is actually done is B, A inverse will be generated. What is B? B is secret key of the target user, the other user B. So A and B will engage in a protocol because A should not know the secret key of B, B should not know the secret key of A, right? So they will engage in a protocol, and the re-key will be produced by the proxy. Okay, so all of them will have individual information. The re-key will be available with the proxy, but then the proxy will have B A inverse. Proxy will not have any other information. It is B is a random number, A is a random number. One random number divided by another random number is what the proxy has. Okay, so re-key is this, and this is generated and handed over to the proxy. So now, after handing over the re-key to proxy, the director or the vice chancellor can vanish. Now, if a message comes, what is done by the proxy? Here is the picture. Somebody has encrypted the message and then they have generated the ciphertext. That ciphertext and the re-key, see, ciphertext is an input, re-key is an input, both are input. This is the re-encryption algorithm. Re-encryption algorithm is going to generate two numbers, CB1, CB2. They are the ciphertext for B. They are the ciphertext meant for B. That is produced. That is produced by who? That is produced by the proxy. How the proxy? Please log in, re-log in. Do I have to re-log in? Oh, that is to somebody. Okay.
No, sir, for the participant.
That's for a participant. Okay, because it is coming on my screen. Okay. So look what the proxy has done. It is sending the first component as it is. CB1 is CA1, no change. But the second component is changed using the re-key B by A. BA inverse is used by the proxy. Notice that this cannot be executed by anybody else. This can be executed, re-encrypt algorithm can be run by only proxy, because proxy only has B by A. If you want to do this step, B by A is needed. B by A is available only with proxy. Somebody has sent CA2, G power AR, that is raised to B by A. So G power BR is generated. And that is precisely the ciphertext for B. What is the ciphertext for B? A random number is to be generated, and that G power R should be multiplied. Then the public key will be raised to R. So public key of A is raised to R. Public key of B should be raised to R. Public key of B is G power B. So G power BR must be generated as a second component. G power AR is generated by the sender and sent to A. A has passed it. A has passed on that ciphertext to proxy. Proxy has generated G power BR, that is PK, public key of B power R, and now that is sent to DB. Right? Now, B can happily decrypt. So this schematic gives you everything that is going on. So A is generating his key, B is generating his key. A and B will have their own secret key and public key. Secret key of B and secret key of A are manipulated, and a re-key is generated, and re-key is given to the proxy. So re-key is done, and then the re-key is given to proxy. So proxy has the re-key. So if the proxy is given a ciphertext for A, he will convert that into ciphertext for B. Okay, proxy converts a ciphertext for A to a ciphertext for B using re-key. Proxy has the re-key, using the re-key. So this is where the re-key is used and conversion is done. After converting, you send to B. B can obviously decrypt, right? B can decrypt and obtain YAM. Not a problem. B has a secret key. It's a ciphertext for B. So ciphertext for A is converted to ciphertext for B by a third party. Now the third party will have no clue. He can see the ciphertext of A, he can see the ciphertext of B. Since he does not have the secret key of either A or B, he will not be able to do anything with that. So the task is done. The intermediary is doing the transferring of the data, transferring of the encrypted data, but the intermediary gets no clue whatsoever about the message. Now Apple can peacefully give the re-key to the third party, ask them to transfer the file to every user. Apple cannot do this directly. The reason is its music database is large and it has got millions of users, and every day lots of people will buy the music files. So it has to be handled by third parties. If it has to be handled by third parties, it has to give the re-key. But it can give the re-key. That's not an issue at all, because it will give the re-key, and then this re-key is a fixed re-key. You can have a randomized re-key as well. That is possible. And so you can even customize to a file. You cannot use the re-key that is given only for a window of time for certain purpose. Conditional proxy. You do have that kind of sophistication. We will not touch upon that. So, hey, how do you prove that? How do you prove that this is a secure system? So what do you normally do for proving the security? I'm not going to give the details of the proof. We do not have time. It's already 12 o'clock and then we are overshooting the limit. So I need to finish it off in another 15 minutes. So I'm not going to give the proof, but I told you how this works. But in general, the slides are available. You can take a look at the proof. It is given in full detail. The slides have got the complete detail, so you can read it yourself. But I'm telling you how the proof works for the people who are trying to. How is the security guarantee given? There is no way you can break the encryption scheme. How do you do that? We have certain number theoretic reference problem. Number theoretic reference problem. These number theoretic reference problems are well-known hard problems. We do not have any solution for these problems solvable, obtainable in polynomial time. There is no way this can be solved efficiently. No efficient solution available as on today. This is one such very famous problem. Given a generator, I won't give you A and B, but I will give you only G power A and G power B. You have to find out, okay, G power AB. Like I might give you G, I might give you G power 30, and I will give you G power 40. You have to get using this G power 1200. Can you get that? The answer is no. It is because 30 and 40 are not known. You do not know this. You know only this, these values. Somebody will raise it to the power and then pass it on, and you have to get this. That is not possible. It is not even possible to decide, but this is called the decision diffie-Hellman problem. Is it, you have given another number, is this G power AB or not? This particular problem is honored as one of the hardest problems in number theory, It is proposed by Diffie-Hellman in the context of key exchange and so on. It is one of the well-known hard problems. This cannot be solved in polynomial time as on today. You don't have a proof. It is just that the whole world has tried and then they could not get a polynomial time algorithm so far. Even randomized polynomial time algorithm is not available. So we make an assumption that this problem is hard. There is no polynomial time solution available for this. Now, how do I prove the security? I prove the security of an encryption scheme in the following way. Assuming that I have a way to break the security of the system. In other words, without knowing the secret key, assume that I have a polynomial time algorithm to break the encryption and get the message. If you have one such procedure, then that procedure can be used as a black box and a polynomial time algorithm can be derived or demonstrated to solve this problem. But I know that this is not solvable. Therefore, that contradiction shows that there is no way you can break the Elgamal system. Okay? Of course, what do you mean by breaking? What is the power of adversary? These are all the models you have to do. If you look into the formal course on cryptography, they will make a lot of assumptions on the abilities of the adversary. What are the powers of adversary? Okay? See, if I give you a cycle, right? You can go from here to, let's say, Bangalore. It takes some effort, but it is a lot of hard work. But if I give you a car, you can go from Chennai to Bangalore more comfortably. You are empowered with more powerful tool. So the model for adversary will describe the abilities the adversary has. What you have to prove is an adversary with those abilities will not be able to break the system. That's what you have to prove. So we have an adversary model, and for various adversary model, you will prove the impossibility result, but all proofs will have the following structure. It will be by a reduction technique, reducing that to solving a hard problem. Okay? So you assume the powers of a model, mathematically represent it, and then show that if there is an Elgamal breaker, there is a DDH solver. DDH solver does not exist. We will show that it would exist under this condition. Okay? That's the math detail. I'm not going to, I don't have much time to do that, but the details are given in the slides. It's very clear. You work with pen and paper, you will be able to follow that. And proxy encryption comes in various forms and models. What I have described earlier is a very simple one. Just to understand that, I have given a very simple one for starters. But that one has got a lot of weakness. We can see one of the major weakness the system has. Okay. We also have other models of cryptography, crypto systems, cryptographic protocols, environment. In the system that I have told you earlier, the key generation is done by individuals. If A would like to have a crypto system, he has to design, identify a group, he has to do all kinds of things. A common man may not know to do all of them. So he will normally take the service of some party. Okay, that is called the public key infrastructure. The public key infrastructure is a setup which will maintain and manage the secret key and public key on your behalf. All right. So those kind of infrastructures have got their own limitation. It requires some certification and so on. Okay. For example, I want to send a secret message to you. Where do I get the public key? I get the public key, let's say, from your home page. How do I know whatever is there is your key? Maybe just yesterday, some hacker has hacked your system. He has put his key there instead of your key. I will think that whatever is there is your key and I will encrypt it. you will not be able to decrypt because it is encrypted under some other key. You don't even know that it has been hacked. So how do I know? So certifying authorities and other things are needed. So public key infrastructure is a complex mechanism. Can I have the control as much as possible with me? That is what identity-based proxy re-encryption does. This is a system designed by Shamir, and then here your ID is used as your public key, and the corresponding secret key is generated by a key generation mechanism. Okay, so there is a central key generating authority, and they will give the key for you. Your public key is not hackable. It is your open ID. Okay, so it becomes easier to verify and so on. So there are several models, ways in which the proxy, for example, single hop means from A's ciphertext, you can convert to B's ciphertext. From B, can you go to C? Can B authorize to change whatever that has come to him to C? It is not possible because I don't want, for example, the director may want the confidential file to go up to a dean's level, but he may not like that to go to the deputy dean level. So the dean should not authorize his deputy dean to look at that file. He should not be able to convert and then pass it on. Okay. Therefore, there are schemes in which only single hop is permitted, and then unidirectional, bidirectional. Some hierarchy, A can encrypt to B and B can encrypt to A and so on. So these are all nature. Let's look at the concrete scheme. Quickly, very quickly, we will take a look at it. What is one major problem that the system that I have designed, that I have already described, is it has got what is known as collusion attack. Collusion attack means, as you can see, if the proxy and B collude, A can be discovered because proxy has B, A inverse. User B has B. When these two people collude, if these two people collude, then from the re key, the secret key of A can be found out. Both of them can come together and then A can be computed. That means, for example, if the director has delegated a proxy server and the proxy server controller and the dean, if they talk to each other and then get both the information, and the director's secret key can be found out. All right. That is called collusion attack. It's very important that the collusion should not be there. And we have designed a system in which even if they collude, they will not be able to. So the re-key design should have an interesting property that even if proxy and B collude, they should not get the secret key of A. Even if A and proxy collude, they should not get the secret key of B. Collusion resistance design. Is it possible to do that? We had state of the art, and then there were some systems that are proposed, and this is useful in the cloud related applications, because in the cloud you store the secret file and somebody wants your file. So you ask the cloud as a service provider, hey, re-encrypt this one to the other guy. Now the cloud owner is, after all, a third party. You may not know who he is. You may not know whether he is honest or not. What if he colludes with the other party? Then he can get your secret key, and everything that you have stored in the cloud owner can decrypt. That's disastrous for you. So you don't want this collusion attack. And how do you design something with the collusion attack? So you need a special kind of a function called the bilinear function. It is a two-variable function, and it is linear in both variables. That is why it is called the bilinear pairing. So the bilinear pairing function will have the property that is depicted here. Okay. And this bilinear map is what you are going to use to design the system. This was the state of the art. Let's not worry about it. Earlier, there were some systems, they were not working. They were not properly designed. We have either proposed an attack or showed the weakness in them. And then we have proposed a new solution, and this is just appeared in ProofSec 2018. Okay, the full version of the paper is available in ePrint archive, or you can go to the conference proceedings. So here is the detail. So we have a group G1, and we will choose 2 generators. Okay, this is the system setup. The system setup means the entire system is going to be administrated by a centralized authority, and the centralized authority is going to issue the secret key for every user. So a user may say, hey, I want to join the system. Here is my public address, my email, or whatever is my social security number or my Aadhaar number. You can give your information, and the key generation center would generate the key. How will it do it? These are the system setup. These are called the system-wide parameter. This is common for all users of the system. That is why they are called parameters. The parameters are 2 groups, a bilinear map, 2 generators of the group, and the system administrator has got his own secret key that is called the master secret key. Master secret key is called S. In terms of the master secret key, system's public information is generated. Now, how will the system will give a key to a user? The user can give his ID, like my email address, my Aadhaar number, my social security number. I can give anything which is well known as my ID. Okay. I can give a string, C. Pandurangan at IIT Madras, Department of Computer Science at IIT Madras. This I can give as my ID. Now, anybody who want to send can use this as the public key, and that will come to me. And my secret key will be generated like this. You have ID as a string, binary string. There is a hash function, and hash functions have got some interesting properties. They are cryptographically secure hash functions. I don't want to divert my attention to that. It has got some interesting properties. And you hash that, and then whatever is the value you get, it will hash to a group element, and that will be your secret ID. So every user will be given a secret key by the system, by the key generation algorithm run by the system administrator. System administrator will use the public information and then generate all these things. Okay. And so everybody has a public key and a secret key. And here is the encryption scheme. And this is the decryption for the same encryption scheme. You can see the similarity to the Elgamal scheme. In some sense, we have done that. And what we have done is that we have taken a message, and the random blinder is here. Is the random blinder. Message is, because hash function images will look like random number, I have blinded M with a random value. Okay. The sigma is generated here. A random sigma is chosen, and the hash of that random value will have the same number of bits as M, so I can bitwise XOR it and then blind it. So if at all you have to decrypt, you have to somehow compute H3 sigma. If H3 sigma is not computed, you cannot recover M. You should not only compute H3 sigma, you should use that and C4 to recover M. And that is what is done. You can see that sigma is computed, H3 sigma is used, you XOR with C4 and recover M. Okay, so the formula is given. Consistency of this you can check. And this is the decryption algorithm. If the encryption is done, the decryption. This is the re-encryption algorithm. This is the re-key. Re-key has got 3 keys, 3 components. The re-key now consists of 3 components. The reason why we have 3 components is everybody's interest will be protected by one value or the other. Okay? Even if Proxy and B colludes, he may be able to probably get one value, but not all. Using the re-key, it is not possible. Therefore, there will be independent components which will preserve the secretness of the keys. So even if they collude, they will not be able to do that. That is how this has been cleverly designed. Each component will have something that will be so exclusive for a person that the other 2, even if they join, they will not be able to do this. Therefore, using re-key, no one can get the key of the third party. 2 people cannot come together and get the third person's one. Okay? So, from IDI to IDJ, if the transfer is to be done, this is the logic that you have to follow. And generation. Now you can see that the D has got 5 components. Your encrypted algorithm, your ciphertext, original ciphertext has got, where is the original? Here is the original ciphertext. C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, right? The ciphertext is C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, and then re-key is RK1, RK2, RK3. Using RK1, RK2, RK3 in some clever way, D1, D2, D3, D4, D5 is found. The computations are displayed here, okay, and then we can show that this one is collusion resistance. Its proof is given. The collusion resistance is proved by proving a specialized version of called modified computational Diffie-Hellman problem, and MCDH assumption is the following. You are given G, G power A, G power B, G power 1 by B, G power A by B, all of them are given. Will you be able to get G power AB? The answer is no. You will not be able to do that. This problem you cannot solve efficiently. However, if the collision resistance can be broken, we will show that this problem can be solved in polynomial time. And that's a contradiction. That proves the collision resistance. So the details of the reduction, okay, is given here. And you can take a closer look at it. And then there are applications and other things. So let me, as Professor Moon has pointed out, it is very important that this being the students' seminar, some research directions are to be indicated so that after reading this material, people can pursue some line of research. What we have done is that Proxy is an agent who is transferring one ciphertext to another ciphertext using a re-key. But it is not enough if you just save the messages. It is important that the secret keys involved in the generation of re-key should also be protected. And that protection we can give using the clever method that we have proposed. And this is the first working solution. Other solutions were either inefficient or it doesn't work. That's why this is the first provably secure system that has been designed to address this problem and solve this problem. And Professor Moon has very interestingly pointed out about the lightweight cryptography and working in the cloud and sensor networks and other things, any encryption system, when you are doing with the kind of number theoretic primitives that we use, they will involve monstrous computation. In order to make these things secure, you have to use 2048-bit numbers to be crunched by powering, squaring, and so on, and they are not at all easy. They are not, it's not possible to carry out them on lightweight devices. So, can we have a lightweight proxy cryptography? That itself is a fundamental question. And designing primitives such as conditional proxy re-encryption and broadcast proxy re-encryption and other things are very interesting. Obfuscation, I didn't talk, so I will not elaborate on that. It's one of the emerging areas. It is emerging as one of the important theoretical areas in the recent past. There are some interesting work done on obfuscation of proxy technology, and you can take a look at them in the references. Okay, so I will conclude my talk at this point. If there are any questions from the audience, I would be glad to take them and then interact with them. Either they can use the chat box or they may use voice, whichever is convenient. It's fine with me. You can type in
audience, you have any question? You can raise your hand
or type in the chat box. I have opened the chat box. I can answer the question by looking at the chat box. I will know the question. I will repeat the question and then give the answer. Feel free to type out, or you can just voice post the question.
Dr. Giri, can I come in?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. My question to the professor would be, since it's based upon Diffie-Hellman and Elgelman, would it be exposed or vulnerable to man-in-the-middle attack? Thank you.
Oh, okay. So this one is the version that we have, the version that I have explained does not, it does suffer in the following way. What a man in the middle can do is he can disrupt the communication, but then he won't get anything out of it. He can spoil. He can inject a bit, or he can corrupt the data so that some junk lands, and then the other end, it may not work properly, but they may not be in a position to know what it is. But in order to check whether there is any corruption that has taken place, either injected by third party or even during transmission, we need to do what is known as sanity check. These sanity checks should be incorporated in addition to whatever that has been sent, and that will be the way in which the formal and practical system will look like. What I have described is a vanilla or the bare bone version where the cryptographic actions and formal crypto proofs are discussed. But to take this to the practical front, you have to do a couple of more things. Okay. First thing is sanity check. You have rightly pointed out that what happens if something happens in the middle? Well, the data can be corrupted. That's the worst injury one can inflict. But in most of these cases, it will be a closed system. Okay, like your director, dean, in a closed system. Or it can be with a cloud, so that you directly connect with cloud and the cloud directly connects with the other user. It is done in a customized fashion with the registered users. Okay, so unless there is an insider who is malicious, this will not be affected. However, even an insider can only corrupt the data, but then he will not be able to get the information that is hidden. So that concern is addressed in this way in practice.
Sir, one question put in the chat box. Which network attack is common in current situation?
This question is something like which North Indian food is very tasty one? Which one I can pick up? This is absolutely general question. There are hundreds and hundreds of things that are done. Everybody will do an attack that is possible in their environment. Okay, so it all depends on what they could do in their environment. There is no general answer for these kind of questions. Okay, so let's skip that. Is there any other question we have?
Audience, any question? Audience, do you have any question? You can raise your hand,
Please post
or you
it in
can put in the chat
question
box.
answer section, or you can put the question in the chat box.
Anything, anywhere.
Sir, there is a question in the question answer section. What is the future scope in the cyber security?
No. Cybersecurity is different. What sir is presentation, that is not based on the cybersecurity.
So there was a question in the question answer section.
Yeah, Dr. Giri, just one clarification from the professor. Professor gave a very important research direction when he said that there is a scope for developing lightweight proxy encryption scheme.
Yeah.
So my question was, suppose we make use of elliptical curve cryptography rather than making use of the modular arithmetic or number theory.
Right.
Would that help in developing a lightweight proxy encryption, let's say, resource constrained devices?
Elliptical computation is a key operation, but if you use elliptic curves and the pairing function, you are doomed.
Yes.
Because pairing functions are computation intensive ones. Besides, the way in which we are trying to see a lightweight operation is it should have bit operation. In fact, that is the reason why I have used the random blinder, which is XOR. XOR operation you can do, but G power R you cannot do. The random blinder, if it is generated through exponentiation process, you will not be able to do that. So basically, it has to be a computation on a chip. So what are all the things that you can do? Typically, the bit operation you can do. You can do a limited amount of hash function computation, not very complicated hash function, but limited amount of hash functions. And the pseudo-random generator, it's a very complicated task that has to be done outside. You cannot do that within the device. So there are many things that you have to avoid. Without the exponentiation and random number generation and complicated bilinear pairing operation, is it possible to have a system that is devised which consists of only lightweight operations and can do? We have lightweight encryption algorithms, but can these lightweight encryption algorithms be also be tweaked to make it lightweight re-encryption scheme? What I have shown is how an Elgamal scheme can be converted into a re-encryption scheme, given a very simple way to do that. Then that one has a lot of weaknesses. In order to have a much stronger guarantee, I need to work on a more elaborate system. I need a much larger mathematical framework to guarantee collision resistance. If my goal is simple, I can deal with simple mathematical models. But if my goal is sophisticated, I need really very highly structured and very powerful and abstract mathematical models to implement the crypto protocols. Collision resistance is a very highly demanding one, and that is the reason why you need a very strong mathematical model. So for a general environment, we were able to come up with a scheme. But how do I achieve that in a lightweight environment? We tried a few things, but it didn't work. We have also skipped on that because we need to move on with other things. So we really worked on our comfort zone and took a couple of more problems. In fact, my student, she's going to address this work. Is a work of my intern. What are her names? One second. Varshika, I think it is Varshika. Yes, Varshika and Aranjita Paul. Aranjita Paul is my PhD. Aranjita will address.
She will speak. She will speak.
She will speak. She is a very good speaker, and then she will elaborate more on whatever I have spoken today. And she is one of the authors of this very nice result. It's one of the excellent results generated by them. Varshika was my intern, undergraduate intern from a local engineering college. And Sharmila Devaselvi was my postdoc. And then it's a very good work that was generated. I have passed on the complete details in this. I will pass it on to Dr. Debashish, the full slide file.
Yes,
and,
sir, yes,
you
sir.
can feel free to put this PDF file in any forum you like. People can download and then they can read, refer, go to the ePrint archive and then see the elaborate version and so on. If they cannot get the access to the conference proceedings, doesn't matter. Everything is in ePrint archive. So they can have the full paper, they can download and then see the complete details of the proof. Every line very well and clearly worked out and shown by Aranjita in her work.
Sir, one question.
Yes.
Sir, in algorithmic crypto system, so we have computed C1 equal to G to R into M.
Yeah.
So, sir, instead of multiplication, can you use that addition or exclusive or operation? And that can provide the same security, or there is.
You have to hash. See, you have to generate a random value that can be discovered only by the use of secret key. That is the important thing. So what you do is that you generate a value, same G power R you can use, you can hash, and then after hashing, you can do M XOR with the hash value.
That is
Now, in the decryption algorithm, you discover G power R, right?
Yes.
And hash it and again XOR it to recover M. Therefore, the encryption algorithm requires exponentiation. The decryption algorithm does not require exponentiation. It requires only one invert operation.
Yes.
Right? So such things you can try to do. In fact, encryption algorithm, even if it is complicated, it doesn't matter. We assume that the encryption comes from an environment which has got, let's say, even mainframe system that I can produce something. So encryption may use pairing. If decryption does not use pairing, it's a very good scheme. Right? We have such signatures. In fact, one of our signature schemes, which was done with the Proxy, that has also appeared in a conference in Japan. It won the best paper award in IWSec. It's a very interesting scheme. Encryption may use pairing, but decryption will not use it. So lightweight devices can do the verification, signature verification, and other things can be done. You can have an asymmetry. Generating can be done by lightweight, but verification can be done by a mainframe or something like that. A third party when he is doing the verification. So there are several design goals you can have like this and think of variety of open problems and solve. Okay, there are a couple of questions. One is that, can you describe a little about symmetric encryption and asymmetric encryption? Symmetric encryption is done by two parties who agree on a common key. So symmetric key encryption can be used only between two known parties. If you want to send a message to Prime Minister of India, you cannot do that using symmetric key encryption unless you and Prime Minister of India sit together and agree on a common key. Right? And then Prime Minister cannot have one common key with every citizen that would like to talk to him. 1 crore people may want to send message to Prime Minister of India. He cannot have 1 crore keys at his end. Which citizen is sending which message, which key is to be used, right? Therefore, symmetric key encryption is extremely efficient, fast. It consists of lightweight operations. You can have hardware implementation. You can implement using chip. However, the problem is it has to be done pairwise. So, if Prime Minister would like to have secret information from citizens, the best way he can deal with is using public key. He can put his public key in PMO's web page. Anyone, without even knowing Prime Minister, can encrypt and then send it, and Prime Minister's office will decrypt. Only one pair of key for the whole world he has to use. He need not have one key for every person. If he decides to interact using symmetric key encryption, then he must have one private key for every user. That is the major difference between symmetric key and asymmetric key. Besides, the paradigms themselves are different. The algorithms that are involved in public key, because there is a relation between private key and public key, and the key generation mechanisms and the computation, they are all different. And the security threats and other things are also different. Adversarial powers are different. Therefore, the design goals, the analysis mechanism, the threats, all of them are different between symmetric encryption and asymmetric encryption. Okay. And could the recording of the session be uploaded to, okay, that administrators, the Debashis will take care of answering that question. I'm sure it will be available. Any webinar is an open forum and it is being recorded. I'm sure Dr. Debashis will make it available. But please make available the slides and the references and everything that I'm sending. Not an issue at all. It's, we are enabling the students. It's meant for student community and all the interested students. Please feel free to go through that, do the computation, calculation, understand them, and so on. Incidentally, you search for Arinjita Paul, the next speaker after 2 weeks. She has done this work and several other work. Before listening to her, read some of their work so that you can interact with her. And then she is one among you. She is just now submitted the thesis. Okay. She finished her PhD now and then submitted the thesis only yesterday. She's fresh person among you. So students, feel free to interact with her. Get a lot of questions and other things. But for that, you should read a priori. If you don't read and know, you will not know. And on the fly, these are all very difficult to understand. Okay. So read something about proxy re-encryption. Go Google for Arinjita Paul and then look into some of her publications and ePrint archive, and then come prepared for the interaction session, and it will be very, very useful. She is one of the very nice speakers, and then very patiently and carefully she will explain the interesting and difficult points. Okay, fresh from the oven.
She will speak on 28th, sir. She will speak on the 28th. She will speak on 28th.
28th August. Yeah, she is going to speak after 2 weeks, so you have time. Please, the audience, get to know a lot and then participate in interaction with her. Okay, it will be a good experience for you, and you will learn a lot of things.
So thank you so much for your valuable speech. That is very informative, and that will be helpful to our students and research community also, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It has been nice, and it's a pleasure interacting with you. I have to pitch it at a fairly elementary level, so I spend more time on introductory part than on the advanced part. Since the proxy related things are known to you, I will ask Arinjita to make sure that she takes it to the next level and interact more intensely with you. Okay? We will ensure that you are getting substantially good ideas through that interaction as well. I wish you all the best. I wish all the organizers a great success. And it's a good opportunity to meet a lot of experts, and especially my long-term friend, Professor Fagan Lee. I managed to see him today, and it is goodbye to all of you. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry the
Thank you, sir.
time limit has been overshot by a big margin. My apologies for that.
Okay, okay, sir. It is not a problem, sir, because you see. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank
I disconnect now.
you. Okay. So now our next speaker is Adet Alkele. He did his BSc from in mathematics from Edge University 2004, MSc in cryptography, Middle East Technology University in 2008, PhD on cryptography from the same university from 2010. Now he is the associate professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering on Ondokuz University, Turkey. Now his research interest is efficient cryptographic computations, post-quantum cryptography, applied cryptography for cybersecurity, arithmetic of finite fields, Boolean functions. Now today's talk is challenges and opportunities in cryptography, multivariate polynomials and lattice-based cryptography in the quantum era with formal analysis. Now you are welcome to share your screen and start your presentation. Sadet, please you start your presentation and share your slide.
Okay.
Sadet,
Can you see slides? Can you see the presentation?
Yes,
okay,
sir.
okay, it is visible and audible also.
Okay. Thank you very much for your kind invitation. Today, I will talk about the post-quantum cryptography. We will give a brief introduction to post-quantum cryptography, and we want to discuss some standardization efforts in post-quantum cryptography. My name is Sedat Akdeylek. I am from 19 Mayıs University, Samsun, Turkey. Let's start with the outline. First, we will discuss what is post-quantum cryptography, how we can give the differences from the traditional public key and the post-quantum cryptography. We will provide some examples. We will give the importance of the post-quantum cryptography. Then we will provide some information on the standardization efforts in post-quantum cryptography. We will give some examples from crypto system families in post-quantum world. Those are the multivariate and lattice-based crypto systems. First, we have to understand the meaning of post-quantum cryptography. And post-quantum cryptography is not equal to quantum cryptography. In post-quantum world, we will continue to use our computer systems. Those are working on 0 or 1, just bits. But in quantum cryptography, we don't use bits, we use qubits. Here in post-quantum world, we will use quantum computers to break or to cryptanalyze the traditional public key systems. So post-quantum cryptography is not the same meaning with the quantum cryptography. In post-quantum world, post-quantum cryptography implies quantum safe public key systems. And we now believe that those are secure against any post-quantum attacks, which are run in quantum computers. The security of the post-quantum systems relies on or depends on the mathematically unproven assumptions. Those are secure in today's computational systems, and we don't have any problems. Let's recall some traditional public key systems. We are using RSA, Algama, Heffalman, THC, elliptic curve, digital signature algorithms in our daily life. For example, in SSL certificates, we use RSA or DH systems or ECDSA systems to sign a document or key exchange mechanisms. And their security depends on the computational hard problems. For example, RSA depends on the hardness of integer factorization problem. JSA depends on the hardness of ALP. So we have so many problems in public key systems, and those are hard in some assumptions. But we have some algorithms to solve that problems. However, those algorithms are not efficient when we increase the key sizes. A quadratic C, elliptic curve method, number field C method, polar throw index calculus, and there are so many other methods are used to cryptanalyze, to factorize any number in public key crypto systems. When we see the complexity of those algorithms, quadratic C has an exponential time algorithm. Number field C or elliptic curve method have the same. Those are in exponential time. So we cannot run these algorithms efficiently, or we cannot find a solution within a reasonable time. However, in 1994, there is an algorithm which is proposed by Shor. It is in polynomial time. And it is very important for us, since if an algorithm can run in polynomial time, this means it can give a result within a reasonable time. For example, sorting algorithms. Those are working in polynomial time, and we can sort any sequence within a reasonable time, in a short time. We can also think about this one. When we check the DLP, we have also several algorithms, polar throw, number field C. However, they are also in exponential time. That their running time is exponential. However, we have also Shor algorithm, and the running time of the Shor algorithm is in polynomial time. So it is very important also for us. This means we can solve DLP, and the security of DH, ASA, ECDSA depends on the hardness of DLP. But Shor algorithm runs in only one environment. It is a quantum computer. This changed everything in traditional public key systems. It was published in 1997, and we have so many differences. Now, traditional public key systems are not secure. So we have to find new systems. Now, you can think about, is there a quantum computer? When we check the websites, there are so many quantum computers all over the world. One of them is an example of D-Wave, a computer, and the other one is the Microsoft, IBM, or Google computers. According to the news, it is not very new one. It is from the 2 years ago, and a company they have 72 qubit computers. So we don't have any problem with the existence of quantum computers. However, by using quantum computers, you can solve optimization problems. You can solve machine learning problems very fast. And you can also cryptanalyze traditional public key systems. Also, you can factorize any integer by using quantum computers, by using Shor algorithms. We talk about the companies, and there are also some research centers which have quantum computers, and their structure is very definite to construct a quantum computer. We have so many types to construct a quantum computer, and you can see some of them: superconducting, photonic, natural atoms, classical, and the others. The last line gives the number of qubits and how many qubits we need to factorize an integer or to solve TLP. According to the research, we have 2n qubits to factorize n bit integer. This means when we think about the SSL certificates, we are using 2048 bit integer, and we need 4096 qubits. Those are not the exact numbers. At most, you need this kind of qubits, and your quantum computer must be very large. When you think about the companies, they have almost 100 qubits quantum computers. So it is not easy to construct that kind of large quantum computers easily. And you have to wait almost 34 times 10 to the 9 seconds to factorize that number. And it is almost years. Even if you have any quantum computer, you have to wait some time. Although there is a polynomial time algorithm. Okay, we have the same thing for the TLP-based systems. You need a large quantum computers in terms of qubits. But if we compare the results with the traditional ones, it is very, very efficient, and it can easily break traditional public key systems. If you are interested in quantum algorithms, there is a nice website. There is a taxonomy for this. You can check any other quantum algorithms which can run in quantum computers. Let's think about we are in safe or not. Since we are using crypto or security notions in our life. If you are using RSA, ECC, ASA, in quantum computing side, you are not secure. However, if you are using advanced encryption standard, it is an example for the symmetric key crypto systems. The security is the half. If you are using 128 bits advanced encryption standard, the key and the security in the quantum computing size is only 64 bits. So it gives to the half. It is the same thing for the hash functions. We know that we are using crypto systems everywhere, in SSL certificates, in remote controls, in our SIM cards, in our mobile phones, in online shoppings, in cloud environment, in any other places. So we have to think about how we can be secure in the quantum area. Let's see the formula. We have a theorem from Moska. Let's think about Y, X, and Z. Here the Y is the time for post-quantum cryptography standardization and its uses. X stands for the time of the maintaining the data security, and Z is the time for the quantum computers which are developed. We know that quantum computer the development is very fast, so Z is very small. And we have a problem. We have X plus Y, and it is larger than Z. This part is very important for us, since secret key is revealed. What can we do for this? And there are so many things about this one. According to Heschel Hoska, there is a 1 in 5 chance that some fundamental public crypto systems will be broken by quantum computer by 2029. According to Hoska, there is a 1 in 7 chance that RSA 2048 will be broken by 2026. So we are waiting for the development of the quantum computers, and we have to implement Shor algorithm in that quantum computers. We need very large qubits. We see that we are not safe in quantum computer era. So what should we do? We have to find cryptographically hard problems to construct public key systems, to construct key exchange mechanisms, to construct digital signatures or public key encryption mechanisms. Integer factorization problem or DLP problem are in NP class. This means non-polynomial time, and there is no solution algorithm which runs in polynomial time. So we are always looking for the NP class. However, in NP class, some problems can be solved in polynomial time in quantum computers. Shor algorithm is an example for the integer factorization problem and DLP. We need to find different problems, and we have to define new classes for the hard problems. We can define bounded error quantum polynomial time problem. We have so many problems here. You can see the Quantum Zoo website for that kind of problems. We are always talking about the hard problems, but we have to give a definition for the hard problems. According to James Massey, hard problem is a problem that nobody works on. And if we think about in a cryptographic approach, we cannot find a solution for the hard problem. We have so many hard problems in NP class, NP hard or NP complete. Those are the solving nonlinear equation systems over finite fields. This is the same idea which is used in symmetric key systems. For example, advanced encryption standard or the data encryption standard, and the others are the finding short or close vectors, or to find a solution for the hash functions. Those are the examples for the cryptographically hard problems. In post-quantum world, we have to construct crypto systems which are secure in post-quantum world. So what can we do? We have an algorithm here. First, we have to find quantum resistant problem. And this also means we have to choose which family we want to continue. Then we can construct the cryptographic primitive. By means of cryptographic primitive, you can think about key exchange, digital signature, or public key encryption. You can choose one of them. Then, after constructing the primitive, you have to achieve the security analysis. You can think about it is in NP class in the post-quantum world. However, some leakage shouldn't be in the primitive. You can use game theoretical approach, or you can use other things to show the security analysis. We have also parameter sets in order to implement this one. Without parameter sets, you cannot implement in a secure way. And after finding the parameter sets, you need to optimize the performance of your algorithm. Here you can see the classes or families of the secure post-quantum: code-based, hash-based, multivariate quadratic, hard disk-based, and curve-based. You can also think about the curve-based as an isogeny. We have so many algorithms in the post-quantum world. Some of them are very efficient, hash-based and multivariate quadratic. However, we have some problems with the key sizes when we compare with the elliptic curve systems or RSA systems. They need some extra spaces to run in their environment. In post-quantum world, we have to think always different. Now, we just believe that there is no quantum algorithm run in polynomial time for the hash-based, code-based, multivariate, hard disk-based, isogeny-based systems. And we cannot guarantee that there will no algorithms for this. So we have to be patient and we have to study for the all systems. It is very important for us. So we have to think about all structures for the post-quantum world. Here is the milestones of the code-based cryptography. MAKAUT and Niederreiter systems are still used and studied today. Those are the basis of the code-based systems. And when we check the key sizes is very large. However, the performance of these systems, these public key encryption systems, is very fast. When we think about the hash-based systems is also very fast, very efficient, and their public key size is very small. The secret key size is small. However, the signature is very large. So we have some problems with this signature size. For the shapings, the signature size is 41 kilobytes. In RSA, we have only 2 kilobytes. So you can think about the differences for the same security level. Here is the multivariate quadratic base systems. We have so many classes in the multivariate quadratic polynomials. One of the famous one is the oil and vinegar class. We can use unbalanced or balanced oil and vinegar. Rainbow is an example. UOV also is an example. When we check the key sizes, public key or secret key size is going to be very large for these schemes. We can also use hidden field equations in multivariate quadratic systems, and we can also use Fiat-Shamir transform by using identification schemes to construct a signature scheme. Now we are coming to lattice-based systems. Lattice-based systems is very attractive for the researchers since the key sizes is very close to the traditional crypto systems and the performance of the lattice-based systems is very nice. Those are very efficient. It is started with GGH scheme then NTRU is used. Those are the lattice analog of MAKAUT crypto systems. And there is a strong connection between broad-based systems and lattice-based systems. And how we can think about the standardization. All over the world, the standardization is dominated by NIST, National Institute of Science and Technology in USA. You know Advanced Encryption Standard. Advanced Encryption Standard is a block cipher and it is chosen by NIST. There were 15 candidates and 2 rounds. At the end, there were only 5 finalists and the competition is completed in 4 years. The same thing done for the hash functions. In SHA-3, there were 64 submissions and it is almost 5 years to find the solution, to find a finalist for the hash function. We have also now lightweight competition. There were 57 submissions and it is known that it will be completed within 3 or 4 years. When we think about the post-quantum world, there is a post-quantum cryptography standardization competition. For the academic side, the first conference is organized in 2006. And NIST gave an announcement in 2016 for the post-quantum cryptography standardization efforts. And there is a competition has been started in 2017. And you can see the timeline of the post-quantum cryptography project. It is estimated that up to 2024, the standardization efforts will be completed. But we will have draft standards. The scope is to find quantum secure digital signatures, quantum secure public key encryption, and to be used in today's live applications, or can we replace the post-quantum algorithms with the traditional ones? For example, in SSL signature, can we replace RSA with that quantum secure version? And according to the NIST, there will be not only one single winner. Why? As we mentioned before, nobody can guarantee that all algorithms will be secure in post-quantum world. There may be some new algorithms in post-quantum world. How we can think about which algorithm is better? In crypto, we always ask security. The first notion is security. If you have designed secure algorithm, then you don't have any problem. However, you have to think about the performance. Performance not only for the computers, not only for the mobile phones, for every platform, for SIM cards, for FPGA, for JSP, for any other embedded systems. And we need to drop in replacements and security notions for the key exchange or key encapsulation mechanisms. It has to satisfy perfect forward secrecy. And there are so many implementation attacks for the post-quantum systems. It has to be simple and flexible. For the NIST submissions, there were 84 submissions and only 69 of them complete and proper. When we check the table, the lattice-based signatures only 5, and lattice-based public key encryption or key encapsulation mechanisms are 21. We have 26 lattice-based schemes over 64. For the multivariate systems, we have only 9 here. You can see the names of the old submissions here. Some of them is insecure now. Some of them are secure, but their performance is not as expected. In the second round, the numbers is dropped to 26. We have only 12 lattice-based schemes, 7 code-based schemes, 4 multivariate-based schemes, 2 symmetric-based schemes, and 1 for the other schemes. We are now in round 3. In round 3, only 7 algorithms has been selected, and 5 of them are based on lattices. 1 of them is based on codes, and 1 of them is based on multivariate quadratic polynomials. You can see the names of the round 2 submissions. We have the encryption or key encapsulation mechanisms, and we have also signatures. From these signatures, Crystals and Falcon are at the 3rd stage, and those are very attractive one. And also Rainbow is in the 3rd stage. We have so many algorithms, and some of them are selected for the round 2, and very few of them selected for the round 3. Some algorithms has been dropped with the reason of security, and some of them are performance. In the standardization efforts, always we have to find secure systems in implementation side and in the theoretical side. And also the performance of these systems should be efficient in both software and hardware. Okay, we are always thinking about in the theoretical way. However, if you have a algorithm, you have to implement, and it has a play in the daily life. So what the industry wants, please think about the SSL certificates in HTTPS websites, and you always make a cryptographic operations, and you always want to satisfy information security concepts. So performance is very important for us, and industry always asks for this. Key sizes should be small, since you always transfer the keys and you always receive the elements. Energy consumption is an important issue. Think about your mobile phone. For each time, if you want to charge your mobile phone for 2 hours, it is not important for us. And we have to think about the public key size and also secret key size. Here is the comparison table for the algorithms for the NIST submissions. You see the key sizes here, key sizes on the X, and the hypertext size on the Y column. We have very efficient algorithms in lattice-based systems, and hard disk based systems can be divided into several groups. We have also compared with the size and the speed. Everything is important. The green one is the hard disk based with Hakims, and when we sum the ciphertext and the public key, here is the speed of the algorithm, and the hard disk based schemes are the most efficient ones when we think about it. Here is the all comparison table. Kyber is one of the fastest one, and we have also Saber. Saber also nice one. However, most of these algorithms are not in the run through. Here is the Lightsaber. You see the performance of this one, and here is the Kyber. Kyber is the best one. Let's see the comparison of the public key and the signature size. How the signature schemes, we always try to reduce the signature size. However, if we cannot reduce the signature size, we can try to reduce the public key. Lattice one is in the middle, and it has acceptable signature size and public key size. What about the speed and the size comparison? Here, multivariate systems is one of the best, since they only need some finite feet operations and small finite feet operations, addition and multiplication. The signing time is very low. However, the signature size is not so low, but those are smaller than RSA or traditional systems. Okay, the lattice-based schemes is also efficient. However, their signature size is comparable with the RSA. You can see the signature size speeds. Here is the lithium is one of the fastest one, and it is also selected for the round 3. We have also Rainbow. Rainbow is the fastest one. However, the keygen needs so much time. Don't forget, we have keygen algorithm, signature generation algorithm, and signature verification algorithm. For the key encapsulation mechanism or key exchange, we have also key generation part, encapsulation and decapsulation parts. For the lattice-based schemes, key generation is always time-consuming part for this. Let's see which submissions are done to the NIST. We have the key encapsulation or public key encryption for the lattice-based systems. Crystal Kybers, FrodoCam, LEC, NeHop, those are mostly depend on the learning with errors problem in rings or in modules. We have also NTRU family. In NTRU family, we have NTRU key recovery problem. NTRU key recovery problem is one of the hard problem in the lattice-based systems. If you can solve the SVP, then you can solve the NTRU. Up to now, there is no polynomial time algorithm in quantum computers to solve the SVP or CVP. We have so many algorithms and so many problems. When we think about the code-based schemes, MAKAUT depends on the COPPA codes. We have very short hypertext in the MAKAUT. However, the key sizes of the public key is very large. Those are also code-based schemes, Rollo, RQC, LedaCrypt, However, the last one, Psych, is the isogeny family. It has very low key size. It has strong connection with the elliptic curves. However, the security problem is not new. There may be some concerns about the security of the Psych. For the signature schemes, we have Crystal, Tritium, Falcon, and Q Tesla. Q Tesla is eliminated in the third round. However, those depends on the same idea. For the crystals, Falcon is based on the NTRU. And we have also symmetric-based systems, Sphinx and Picnic is the example for this. We have a very draft special publication for the signature schemes by NIST. NIST has a standard now for the signature schemes XMMS. It is a hash-based system. Although it has very large signature sizes, their public key and secret key size is very small. Now, what can we do in the post-quantum world? We can think about the ideas. If, for example, RSA has been published in 1977, and it has almost 75,000 citations. Similarly, MAKAUT has been published in 1978. It has almost 2,000 citations. However, when we talk about the lattice-based systems, NTRU or LW or ring LW-based systems, they have lower than 2,000 citations. This means post-quantum systems have not been deeply studied. So we have to study post-quantum systems like RSA. We have so many things to think about which algorithm is the best for us. We have to think at the industrial point of view and theoretical point of view. You can use your algorithm in the smart cards or in your SIM card, in your mobile phones, in your computers, in your FPGA, and in any other area. So we have to find new solutions for this. There are so many parameters to think about for the business approach, for the academical approach, and we have to find a new idea. Or why do we think about like this? We can use hybrid model in the post-quantum world. And we always try to think about reduce the key sizes, reduce the signature sizes. However, think about your HTTPS connection. You are making only one connection and you only send only one file. If the size of your file is very large, it is not important today's communication speed. You don't have to reduce that sizes. We are talking about just kilobytes. If you want to read a news or if you want to send a photo by using your WhatsApp internet connection, and it has also same sizes. So we don't have to think about to reduce the key sizes all the time. We have so many things about like this. And everybody asks, we have to find now, but we shouldn't have to going fast for this standardization efforts, since we have to study. If you think about the citations, the post-quantum systems have not been studied deeply. So we need a time to study them all over the world, and we may find new systems, new families which are very efficient. I think I have time or not. I am on the 45 minutes. Is it okay? Habasis, Professor Debasis, can we continue or?
Hello.
Hello.
Sir, say that Adilike sir asking that it is 45 minutes. Sir, you can proceed, sir, but sir, we need one more speakers to deliver the speech.
Okay.
So, if, yes, sir.
And I want to focus on the multivariate quadratic polynomial systems and the space systems, since those are selected for the third round. It is known that it is very efficient in our systems, so we can use those systems safely in our life. And you can, if you have any questions, I will be answer those ones. And we have so many things. Lattice is an other area, multivariate quadratic systems other area, code base is other, H-based is very different areas, and you can see the how we can continue. If you have any questions, I will give some examples and I will try to provide some information. It is my end of talk.
Devasis Giri sir, thank you sir for the talk, sir. Devasis Giri sir, are you there?
He's sleeping.
Sir, I think internet connectivity problem is there. Yes, sir. Sir, we can proceed if Devasis Giri sir gives the permission. Devasis Giri sir. Devasis Giri sir, hello.
Oh,
Sir,
Hello.
on behalf of
Hello.
yes sir. Sir, Delik sir has completed the talk, and sir, if you give the permission, our next speaker can proceed, sir.
Oh, he is unable to connect.
No, sir.
Hello.
We can start with the next topic, sir.
No, his topic is over. He has
Yes,
completed.
sir. Say that Delik sir topic is completed session.
Okay. So we can start the next because you see, I am just now come out. I am facing problem to join.
Yes, sir. So,
Okay,
sir,
are you
kindly
getting
give
my
the
voice?
permission, sir, for our next
Okay.
speaker.
Okay. Just I am announcing. Are you getting my voice?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Professor Sadat, thank you very much for your valuable speech. Sadat.
Yeah. Thank
Hello,
you very much.
Sadat, thank you very much for your speech. You see, that is very interesting and informative.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank
So
you very
now
much.
I am having one question. Sadat, I am having one question. So if quantum computer is invented, then RSA system will be no more secure.
Yes.
So that means factorization problem will be easier. So can you say that is if RSA that can be break the defilement problem?
Yes. Also, it will be solved.
Both can be solved. Okay. Thank you very much, Sadat. So we'll be in Sadat friend. We will be in communication. Got the point?
Okay. See you.
Yeah. Because you see, we need to some more work about that conference and other thing.
Yes. We have to think about.
Okay.
We have a very big research team in 19 Mayıs University and in Ankara. So we can also collaborate in this thing.
Who is?
We can collaborate
Hello?
on the post-quantum systems, and we can continue to work.
Okay. Sure. Okay. Thank you very much. We will be in communication. Thank you very much for your valuable speech. Now, our next speaker is Professor Pki Lee. Pki Lee is a professor in the School of Computer Science and Engineering, University of Electronics Science and Technology, China. And from 2008 to 2009, he was postdoctoral fellow in Future University, Hakodate, Japan. And he will speak on hybrid encryption and its applications. Now, Professor Lee, you are most welcome to share your slides and start your presentation.
Okay, now I can start.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, now can you see my slide?
Yeah, it is visible. Lee,
Okay.
it is visible. Again, visible, and you are also audible. You can start.
Okay, I can start. I start. So
Okay.
Thank you for your invitation. So today I will introduce the hybrid security and its application. So this is our content. So first I will give some introduction for hybrid security. Then I will give some application. Okay. So now, first, so there are some basic security property. For example, the confidentiality. So we should keep the information secret from the other people. So this is the confidentiality. And the second is the integrity. So we should ensure the information cannot be altered by unauthorized entity. And the second one is authentication. So if we want to send the message, so we hope the communication party is the one that claim to be. And the first one is non-repetition. So we want to prevent the denial of privacy committee. So if I send a message to you, I cannot deny the later. So these are four basic security property. Okay. In cryptography, so if we want to achieve the confidentiality, normally we can use the encryption scheme. Of course, here the encryption includes the there are many algorithms. For example, AES-DS and RSA. There are many schemes we can achieve the confidentiality. And if we want to achieve integrity, authentication, and non-repetition, so we can use a digital signature. Okay, digital signature. And so this is encryption. If we want to achieve confidentiality, so we can use the encryption. And the encryption, we can divide the encryption in symmetrical one and public key one. Okay, if we use symmetrical encryption, so encryption key is the same as a decryption key. Okay, for example, we can use DES, DES, and AES, advanced encryption standard. Okay, and this scheme is speed is very faster. Okay, is faster, so we can soon encrypt the large message. So symmetrical encryption is suitable for encrypt non-message. Okay, and another is asymmetrical encryption scheme. So it's also called public key encryption. And so in this scheme, the encryption key is not the same as the decryption key. So normally the encryption key is open, is a public key. So we can send, we can transmit in open channel. Okay. And the decryption key is a private one. So normally if we want to decrypt the ciphertext, we can use the decryption key. Okay. For example, we have RC, ECC. So there are some public key scheme. But this scheme, the speed is slow. Okay, but it can achieve some special property. For example, the first speaker, Professor Ragan, he discussed the proxy re-encryption. So this is also belong to public key scheme because they can achieve the special property. For example, we can re-encrypt the ciphertext. Okay. So normally in we use a public key scheme to distribute the encryption key, is a sealing key, and later we can use the sealing key to encrypt the large message. Okay, so this is for public key scheme. So this, if the Alice is the sender, so Alice send a message M, so the receiver is Bob. Okay, so we should use the public key of Bob. Okay, this PKB is a public key of Bob. Okay, and the SKB is a private key of Bob. Okay, so Alice use PKB to encrypt, and then we get the ciphertext C. So the Bob, when the Bob receives the ciphertext C, it can decrypt the message. Okay, use a private key. Another is the digital signature. Okay, so if Alice want to sign a message, if we want to achieve the authentication, so we can sign a message. So, but here we should use the private key of Alice. Okay, use Alice. And SKI is Alice private key, PKI is Alice public key. So Alice use a private key to sign a message. Then we generate we get the signature, sigma. So the Bob can verify the signature. Okay, use the public key of Alice. So this is but there is a question: how to simulate obtain the full security property? So we know encryption scheme, we can achieve completeness. If we use a digital signature, we can achieve integrity, authentication, and non-reputation. But if we want to achieve full, because in some application, we need to achieve full security simultaneously. So we can use the first method is signature, then encryption. For example, if Alice is sender, so Alice first sign the message. So we use a secret key, SKI, to sign the message. Then we get the signature. This is signature. But because we want to achieve community, so we should encrypt it. Okay, encrypt the message. So we should first choose a key. Key is random, for example, random key. Okay, random number is okay. So we use a symmetric encryption because the message is very long, is a large one. So we should use, for example, block cipher. This is belong to symmetric encryption. Okay, but how to distribute the key to the receiver? That is because this key is chosen by Alice. We want the Bob to know the key. So we should transfer the key to the Bob. Of course, only Bob can know the key. The other one don't know. So we should encrypt the key. Use a public key scheme. Use a PKB. This PKB is a public key of Bob. So there is a two ciphertexts. Okay, C1. Okay, so we encrypt the message and the signature. Use the key, use the sealing key. Then we get the ciphertext C1. Okay, another, this ciphertext is C2. So because we want to encrypt the key we want to encrypt this key, use a PKB, use a public key of Bob. So we get the ciphertext C2. So we compile C1 and C2. Then we send both C1 and C2 to Bob, to the receiver. Okay. So the receiver, when the Bob get the ciphertext C1 and C2. So first, we need the public key decryption. Okay, and decrypt this C2 and get the key, get this phishing key. Okay, this is also called the phishing key. And then we use a symmetrical decryption to decrypt the C1 and recover the message and the signature. Then we verify, we check the signature is valid or not. If it's valid, okay, so we think the message is coming from Alice. So no one can generate the ciphertext because only Alice knows the private key. Okay. So this is first method. Okay. And the second method is cycryption. Okay. So cycryption, it can fulfill both the function of digital signature and the public key scheme simultaneously. Okay. That is we merge we merge the signature and the encryption into one algorithm. And this is what is the advantage of the cycryption? So the advantage is the cost is significantly lower than required by traditional signature and the encryption approach. So this cost include the computation cost and computation cost and communication cost. So we can see why the cost is lower because they use the random reuse technique. Later I will give you an example. That is because so the digital signature normally we need this random number, and the encryption we need the random number. But here we just use one. Okay, we just use one random number. Okay, so this is random number reuse technique. So the cost is lower. This is a table for how to cost we can save. We can save. For example, because it depends on the parameter. For example, Q is 512, P is 144. The computation cost, if we use the square signature and L gamma encryption and compare cycryption, the cost we can save 51%, and the communication cost we can save 70.3%. So when the parameter is larger, because of course this P and Q is now is smaller. Okay, is smaller. But if we see the larger parameter, larger one, okay, larger one, so we can see the cost is we can save more cost, save more. Okay. And second one, we want to discuss the public key authentication method. Because in public key scheme, we want to resist the public key replacement attack. So we need to bound a public key and a user identity. So we have some method. Now normally we have three methods. First is PKI, public key infrastructure. So in this structure, so we issue the certificate. Okay, and the second one is identity base. Okay, identity base. The third one is certificate cryptography. Okay, now let's see what is the PKI in this. So this is a PKI system. Okay, so for example, the Bob want to encrypt a message to Alice. Okay, Bob want to send a message to Alice. So Alice should generate the private key and the public key. Okay, Alice first generated the public key and the private key. And then he send the public key, Pk. He send the Pk to RA. RA is a registration authority. So the RA can check Alice's identity is valid or not. If valid, so RA can issue, can ask the CA. CA is a certificate authority to issue the certificate. This is certificate. Okay. So in this certificate, so there certificate gives the information of Alice's identity and the public key information, and the certificate is signed by CA. Okay. So no one can forge the certificate because only CA knows the private key, knows the signature private key. So if the certificate is valid, so we believe the information is correct. That is the Alice public key is Pk. So the Bob can encrypt the message use this Pk. Okay. Of course, we should store because there are many certificates. Okay, so we should there is a directory, so servers. So if Bob want to get the certificate of Alice, so the Bob can ask directory and get the certificate. Of course, some certificate may be required. Okay, so we should CRL, certificate revocation list. Okay. So in PKI, there is some problem. For example, how to revocate a certificate, and how to storage, how to distribute, and how to verify. Because if when someone gets the certificate, he should verify, check the certificate is valid or not. So there is we need some cost. Okay, so this is a weakness of PKI. Okay, so another second one is IBC, identity-based cryptography. So in this system, the identity is public key. Okay, so in this system, there is no certificate. So we don't need to store, and we don't need to distribute. We don't manage the certificate. So this is the advantage of IBC. Okay, in this system, the public key is identity. Okay, so Alice send the identity to the PKG. There is a center. There is also trusted center. The name is private key generator. Okay, so the PKG generates the private key, SK to Alice. Okay, so if Bob wants to send a message to Alice, so Bob use some parameter and Alice ID. Okay, so this is Bob can generate the ciphertext C, and when Alice gets the ciphertext C, Alice can decrypt the C use SK, use SK. So this is identity based. The advantage is certificate free. So this is more lightweight than PKI. So there is no production, checking, management, and distribution certificate. But there is a weakness because the PKG generator was a private key for user. So because in PKI, the private key is generated by user. Okay, but here, but IBC, the private key is generated by PKG. So the PKG knows all the private key of the user. So this problem is called key escrow problem. So this is weakness. Okay, because PKG knows all users private key. Okay. And the third one is CRC, certificate public key cryptography. Okay, in fact, CRC compile PKI and IBC because here there is two part information. First is the public key, and the second one is the identity. Because the public key is the same as the PKI, identity is same as IBC. Okay, so if Bob here the Alice has two public information. Okay, first is he choose secret value and generate the public key. So they are one pair, and another pair is public key information is identity, and KGC. This is a key generator center, and generate the partial parallel key to Alice. So in fact, there is two parallel information. First is the secret value. Secret value is generated by Alice. Okay, and the second parallel information is the partial parallel key. Okay, so this is from KGC. This is from KGC. So when Bob wants to send a message to Alice, the Bob need both public key and identity. So in encryption, the Bob need the public key and identity. So if Alice get the ciphertext, Alice need both partial parallel key and secret value to decrypt it. So CRC compile, I think we think CRC compile both public key and identity base. So this is the advantage of CRC, no KS problem, because the KGC only know partial parallel key of Alice. KGC cannot decrypt one ciphertext because if KGC decrypt the ciphertext, KGC should know secret value, but the secret value is secret. Only Alice know it, so KGC cannot decrypt the ciphertext. So there is no KS problem. And another property is we don't need the certificate. There is no certificate. Okay, because here we the identity KGC generates the partial parallel key according to identity. So this is same as IBC. So CRC is more good, is better than Pki and identity base. Okay. So now we discuss heterogeneous encryption. So the modern computer and communication system are extremely homogeneous. So this homogeneous means they use the same cryptographic technique. Okay, so different system maybe use different security technique. For example, the sender maybe use IBC and the receiver maybe use PKI. So they are different. They use different public key authentication methods. Okay. For example, the sender maybe use IBC and the receiver maybe use CRC. So this is heterogeneous. So now we give one work for heterogeneous encryption. So the first, for example, this is PKI and this is IBC. Okay. So the user A and the user B belong to the PKI. Okay. The user C and user D belong to IBC. So the C has the SC, for example, the parallel key. This parallel key is from PKG. Okay. A and B, because they belong to PKI, so they can generate the parallel key and the public key by himself. And the CA just give them certificate. Okay. So if the sender is PKI and the receiver is IBC, so we call the type 1 heterogeneous encryption. Okay. And if the sender is IBC and the receiver is PKI, so we call this is type 2 heterogeneous encryption. So of course we use the binary pairing. So but this is the basic knowledge. I think the first speaker, Professor Rangan, has discussed. So now we omit it. Okay. So we also here we also need the binary map. Okay. So this is the most important property. So binary EAPBQ, EPQAB. A and B is a number, okay. So we can put the number here, here, and here. So the value is same. Okay, the value is the same. So this is most property. Okay. Now we discuss the scheme. So this scheme have 5 algorithms. First is the setup. So we give a security parameter. We set up the G1, G2. This is a 2 cyclic group. G1 is the additional group. G2 is the multiplication group. E is a binary map. Okay, just this one. You can say just a function. Okay. And the P is the generator. So the P can generate the group G1. Okay. P pub is SP. This is point multiplication. And the small g is EPP. This is the generator. Okay. Of course, we need 3 hash functions, H1, H2, and H3. Okay. And the second one is extract. So because this is receiver is IPC, so the, if the receiver submit the IDU, so he can the PKG give him the parity key in this form. SU is 1 divided by S plus 1 H1 IDP. And the sender is belong to Pki system. So the sender can choose XU. This is random number by himself. And set the secret key, SKU, is 1 divided by SUP. So this is, in fact, this is also 1 point. This is in 1 point. Okay. And the public key is XUP. PKU is XUP. Okay. So the private key is this one. Public key is XUP. So now this is separation. So we want to achieve the commonality, authentication, integrity, non-reputation in one step. So we can see this is one algorithm. First, we choose the X. X is random number. Then we compute the R is GX. G is this one. Okay. And then we compute C is M XOR H3R. Okay. In fact, this is message. This is message. So we encrypt the message. Use R. Okay, use this R. If you want to recover the message, you should load the R. You're right. Okay. And then we hash the R and the message. Then we get the hash value. Then we sign with this. In fact, this is signature. We use the private key of the sender to sign the message. So the X plus HSAKA. Then we compute the T. T is X, H1 IDB, P plus PPUB. Then we get the service is CVT. So here we should know this scheme use random number reuse technique, because for example, when we encrypt the message M, we use random number X, you're right. But for signature, this V signature, we also use random number X. So we can save the cost compared to signature and then encryption method. When we can send the CVT to receiver, okay. So the receiver, because now the receiver is belong to IBC, so he has a SB. Remember, if his name is IDB, so the hierarchy is SB. So we compute the TSB, which compute the binary map, ETSB, okay, TSB. Then we can recover the R. Then we can recover the message M. Okay. Then this step we check the signature is valid or not. So the V is X plus HSKI. Then if this equation hold, so we can say this signature is valid. Okay. So when prove this scheme is IND6AI2 under QBDHIP assumption. So remember, this is input. This is a hard problem. This, and if we want to solve this problem, that's it. We should output this one. Okay, so now we should unsecretion query and key expansion, because this is for compliance. So because the receiver is IBC, so there is a key expansion query. We can ask many identity private key. Okay. And this is unforgeability. Okay, this is depend on the we prove this scheme satisfy EUF7 unforgeability under chosen message attack under the DHIP problem. Okay, but here there is no key expansion query, just the secretion. Why? Because the sender is a PKI, so we don't need to ask the key expansion from identity, because the sender is a PKI environment. So this is some difference. Now we discuss the second one, type 2 heterogeneous. So the sender is IBC and the receiver is PKI. Okay, the setup is same. Setup is same. And expand, this is for sender. Okay, the sender submit the IDU and he get the private key. And this is for PKI. Okay, this is for the receiver. Yeah. It is similar. So this is for Cycryptor. So giving a message M and the private key of sender and the receiver public key. So we can generate a self-test. First, we choose the X. X is random number. Then we generate R. R is G power X. Then we can use the R to encrypt the message. It's similar, so we can hash the message and R. Then we generate the signature. So we compute T is X PKB. So this is similar to air gamma, right? Air gamma. In fact, air gamma is similar. This one. So we generate the CVT. This is self-test. So when the receiver get the self-test, so first he compute the TSKB. So he can recover this one. Okay, recover. This is very example. For example, we can go here. Okay, go here. Because T is XPK, XPKB. Because PKB is this one, you're right. So is XB. If U is B, is P. And SKB. SKB is okay, receiver. Okay, XB is this one. Okay, you write 1 XB P. So if you want a binary map, so this is the cancel one. Understand? This is cancel. XB is cancel. So here just this is equal to just P. There is random number X. We can move to X here. So is PPX. EPP is equal to here, equal to G. Right, is G. So is equal to GX. So this is R, GX. So we can recover. And this is for verification of a signature. Okay. So now we also can prove the type 2 scheme HSC2 satisfy INECCI2 security under the BDHIP assumption. So this is of course this is there is no key expansion because the receiver is the PKI. Okay, if receiver is PKI, so there is no key expansion, just for unsecretion. So they work. And we can prove the scheme satisfy unforgeability under the QSDHP problem. Okay, but here we need the key expansion clear because the sender is the IBC. Is IBC. This is a heterogeneous encryption. So we show the application in the key establishment. Okay, establishment. So what is a key establishment? This protocol means the two parties exchange some message, and then under the protocol, they should share the session key. Should share the key. Of course, normally this key should be use the encryption for symmetrical cipher. Okay, so but in some time, for example, this is the client, this is a server. Normally, they want to set up the security channel. They need they should share a session key. Okay, but sometimes the client belong to identity-based system, and the server belong to the PKI. Belong PKI. Of course, the client can should register with the registration center. So, but how to we want to use the heterogeneous encryption to distribute the key between the client and the server. Okay. So the security goal is one is authentication. So only authorized client can access the server. So and another is the key establishment. So we offer this protocol. So we allow the client and the server to set up a session key, okay, between them. Okay, this is two security goal. Okay, so first phase, initializer phase. So this is similar to heterogeneous security scheme. So we generate the system parameter. And registration phase. So the client, because the client is identity-based, so identity-based cryptography system. So this is form of the hierarchy. So the when the client register it, the registering center will give the SID to a client. Okay, here, but here we add the ED. ED is the expiration date. Okay, for example, 1 year. Just this hierarchy is the client just can access the server within 1 year. After the 1 year, the client cannot access the server. Okay. This is for server because server is a PKI. Server is a PKI system. So okay, this is a hierarchy. So we choose a random number W and generate the hierarchy. S key is 1 divided WP, and the public key P key is WP. This is same as the heterogeneous encryption. This one is same. Okay, the identity base is this one. The PK is this one. And for example, the client can send if a client wants to register his servers. Okay, his servers. So client register, send the ID to the registration center. The registration center send the hierarchy. Of course, the registration center he should use the master key S. Okay, and send the hierarchy to client in secure channel. Okay, here we need another security channel. Okay, the server, okay, send the identity and the PK because the server is in PKI, so the server can generate the private key and the public key back and safe, and the registration center just give the certificate to him. Okay, the third one is the authentication and the key establishing phase. So the client, this part, okay. In fact, this part is heterogeneous encryption. Is this one? Okay. It's same this one. Okay, it's similar. Okay. For example, he choose a key. He choose a key. In fact, here key is a message. is because for heterogeneous cyclation, we want to encrypt the message, cycrypt the message. But here, the message is the key. This is session key. Okay. Then we choose the random number X. We compare the R. Then we use the R to encrypt the key. Key is session key. Timestamp. TS is timestamp. ID is the identity. ED is the date, expiry date. Then we hash with signature. Then we compute the T is XPK. Because here we want to decrypt this. Then we send the CST to the server. So the server is a PKI. So this system is PKI. Okay. So this is IBC. Client is IBC. The server uses his private key to recover the R. Then he can recover the session key, the session key. Then he verify the signature is valid or not. If not, he use the key to encrypt the timestamp and then generate the tag. So why we want to send the tag to the in fact, after this one, after this step, the client and the server has set up the session key. But we want to confirm. The server want to confirm the client has know the key or not. So he send the mark. This is MSE is the message authentication code. We just mark TS timestamp. Because the client has the key, so he also can compute the mark of timestamp. Then he can compare if the two tag value is same. So client can confirm the server has received the session key. Okay, and of course here we encrypt the ID because we want to achieve the anonymity. So the only server can know the ID. The other one don't know the identity of the client. This is another property we can achieve. And this, we compare the mark is we achieve the key confirmation. Okay. And so we have two methods to establish a session key. But first is the key transport. So in this protocol, so the one party choose a session key and transfer to the other party. So this session key is decided by sender. For example, this one. This key is decided by client. The server has no chance to decide the key. Decide the session key. So this is called the key transport. Another is the key exchange. So we allow both parties to join the decided session key. For example, the DH protocol, Diffie-Hellman protocol is this type. For example, GA, GB, because the key is the key is GAB. So because this session key is decided by two parties. Okay, one party cannot decide the key. Okay, for example, the sender just can choose the key, but the receiver can choose the B. The session key is decided by GAB. So this is for key exchange. So the above protocol is the key transport protocol because only client can decide the session key. The receiver has no chance. Okay. But we can change it. We can change our protocol into key exchange protocol. For example, this is the change. So they are same. The left part, they are same. Okay, the client is use a heterogeneous cyclation scheme to generate the ciphertext CST, and this is the same. Okay, they are when the receiver get the ciphertext, we first decrypt and then verification the signature. But here, he chooses another random number, K star. So the receiver choose another one, okay, key star, and then we compute the mark TS user key XOR key star. So we use this one, okay. Then we generate the tag. We send the tag and the key star to the client. So this the client can also compute the mark value if they are same, if the tag is same. So the client believe the server has got the key, has got the key. Okay. So but now the key is the session key is this one. Okay. Is the key XOR key star. So that is this session key is decided by two parties, by both client and server. So this protocol is belong to key exchange. The last one is revocation, because the sender is the sender is client. The sender is IBC, so we can automatically revocate the registering right by attaching a required date ED, because for the registration, if this ED is, for example, we just give 2020 12 December 31. Okay, if after this date, so this SID automatically become invalid. So we can automatically revoke the registration right. Okay. Of course, if we must revoke the right before this date, because due to some reason, the RC registration center can send the identity of this client to the server. Okay, the server can store a list. So this is, of course, this method is not so nice, but they can work. Okay, the server store a list of revoked identity. So if someone revoked the identity coming, so the server can reject. Okay. So we do some experiment. We want to test the performance. For client, we use the mobile phone. Okay, this is a MediaTek MT 27335 1.3 GH under the 2G RM, and the server is a PC. We do the PC is a i7. Okay, the 4G RAM. Okay, so we use the GPPC. This is a library, cryptographic library. So we choose the type A pairing because this is we can get more faster. This is this curve we can get the faster. So this is a time computation test of client part. This is the computation time of server part. Okay, so we compare some scheme. For example, this scheme. Our scheme is this one. So our scheme is we can save if we use the heterogeneous security scheme. So we can save some computation time. Okay, this is for server part. Okay, this one is ours work. The other is we have some paper. So if you want, if you're interested, you can read some paper. I gave the paper information in the end of the slide. So where we can save, our protocol is faster because we use the heterogeneous encryption. This is communication overhead. We can save some communication overhead. Another application is we can application in vehicular communication. So vehicular calculated work ensure the improvement in road safety and traffic management. So a typical violator consists of three parts. The first is trusted authority, TA, and the second one is on roadside unit, RSU, and another. This is in road, okay, in the road, and another is vehicle, okay, vehicle, but we need the OBU, onboard unit. So remember, there is a two type of application. So for example, this is RSU, this is infrastructure, okay, but there is some vehicle, okay, vehicle. There is two type of communication. First is vehicle to vehicle. For example, vehicle can send a message to another vehicle. Okay. And another communication is the vehicle to infrastructure, V2I. Okay, there is a noise. Okay, another is V2I. V2I. So the vehicle can send a message, can exchange message with the infrastructure. Okay, V2I. So there are two type of communication. And there is some security goal. For example, the message compliance. Okay, message compliance. So we want to send a message, but we want to keep the message secret. And another is message authentication. Okay, the receiver of message should be verified. The receiver message was generated by a valid vehicle, not a forged one, because maybe the vehicle want to send the false message. So we want authentication. The third one is integrity. So we want to keep the message intact. So, and the fourth one is identity anonymity, because in some vehicle, some user don't want to show the identity to the other one. So we hope remain anonymous. And next one is non-repetition. So if you send a message, if a vehicle send a message, he cannot delay. He cannot delay in later. And last one is traceability. Because if because this is anonymity, okay, identity anonymity. But some vehicle maybe send the false message. So we want to trace it. So, but only TA, the trusted center, have this ability to trace the vehicle real identity. So this piracy is a conditional one. Okay, conditional piracy. So if there is a TA, they can get the real identity. Okay, last one is on linkability. So malicious entity should not have ability to link two or more messages come from the same vehicle. So we cannot link the two messages with the same user. Okay, and we also can use the heterogeneous segregation but this is for V2V. Okay, V2V. For example, the sender is IPC, the receiver is Pki. Okay, this is for our scheme is for V2V communication. Okay, for two car. Okay, so we can use the heterogeneous separation can achieve compliance, authentication, integrity, and non-repetition. So this is automatic, because if we use this one, then we can achieve this. And but now we want to achieve anonymous and traceability and linkable. So we use the pseudo identity. So we encrypt the real identity. For example, this is we use this method. This is vehicle, and this is trusted authority. This is center. Okay, so the vehicle first choose the random number and compute RIP. P is the generator. Okay, so this is the point. So the PID. So we send the RIDI. RID is a real identity, and the PID, in fact, this is gamma IP, and the TA can encrypt the RID. So the TA, for example, they can use this equation. So RID XOR H is the hash function, SPID, and condition PPAP. Okay. So because he use this one, so if you want to get the RID, real identity, so you should load S, but only TA has this. So they cannot get the normally the other party cannot get the real identity. Okay, only TA can recover the real identity. So the shared identity is this one, two parts. First is PID I1, this one, and the second one is this. In fact, this is ciphertext. Okay, this is ciphertext. So this is so the vehicle. When the vehicle send a message, he use this identity. But given this identity, normally the other vehicle cannot get the real identity. Only the TA can get this by using this equation, because the TA has the master key, S, secret key. Okay, this is our talk. So if we want to know the detail, so please see this three paper. So we have the detail, some mathematics and some proof, some all the detail is this paper. Okay. So now if you have some question, if you have some question, you can type in the chat box. I can answer. Okay. Hello.
Yes.
Okay, this is my talk.
Any question from the audience? Hello.
If anyone have any questions related to the topic, please kindly put in the question answer section or just put in the chat box.
Yes, one question is there. So how can we use the cryptography in the computational biological model?
I'm sorry, please speak slowly.
How can we use cryptography in the computational biological model?
I'm sorry, you can type in the chat box.
Chat box. The question is put in the chat box.
Okay.
Question and answer. At the box of question and answer. Again.
Yes, please type your question in chat box. Because
Sir, the question is, how can we use the cryptography in the computational biological model?
What model? Which model?
Computational biological model. So that means the computational in the biological perspective.
Biological?
Yes, sir, biological models.
No, this
in the biological
the security proof. You mean the security proof? Here we don't use the logical model. We don't use. We use, for example, the random walk model.
Yes, I think, sir, there's some DNA sequence, RNA sequence. There should be some cryptography to do something. I think the question is like that, sir, from Partha Sarkar. To hide the information in the biological model, also it can be, I think, applicable, sir.
Can you type?
Partha Sarkar, can you elaborate the question? What you want to ask actually? Partha Sarkar, if you are there, please write the question in
yes,
proper
please write
spelling.
down.
Yes,
I
sir.
think it's better.
Yes, sir. So I think Partha Sarkar is not
question and
available
answer
right now.
one box is there. Huh? Hello.
Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
yes, sir. We are able to hear you, sir.
Hagan, can you check that question answer box? Question answer box is there.
Yes.
Nearby
Yes.
the chat box, left side.
Okay, please give me a message in chat box. Then it's easy to communication.
Question of the how can we use cryptography in biological models is given by two persons. One is Mohsin Khurshid and another is from Partha Sarkar. The same question: how cryptography can be used in the biological model? Can we use it?
Next question. Okay. Next question is Hagan. Next question is: can I apply the heterogeneous encryption in blockchain? Can I apply?
Yes. I think you
Heterogeneous
can use
encryption in blockchain.
Yes, I think
That is familiar. That is familiar to your topic.
Yes, we can
can I
use
apply heterogeneous encryption in blockchain?
Yes, I think we can use heterogeneous security in blockchain because the blockchain we also need the authentication. You're right, the signature. I think is if we use it, then we can improve. We can improve the performance of the system because normally the cost is much slower, much lower. The cost is lower than traditional method. Okay. So another question.
Thank you very much, sir, for the answer. And Devashish Giri, sir. Hello, are you there? Devashish Giri, sir. Sir, your voice is not coming, sir. Hello. Sir, you are not audible. Hello. Yes, sir. Devashish, sir. Sir, questions answers are almost completed, and if any questions is there, we will take it in the question answer section later on, sir.
Okay. One question, Hagan.
Yeah. Hello. Please.
What are the differences between encryption and authentication?
I'm sorry, I cannot catch you. So you can type the chat box.
What are the differences between
Sir, the question was, I think, what is the difference between encryption and authentication? Is it, Giri, sir?
No.
Yes, sir. We are able to hear you, sir. Please repeat the question, sir.
It is put in the chat box.
Says encryption
Okay,
and
okay, okay,
authenticating.
okay. Okay. There is some difference. Some difference. Okay, authentication, encryption. In fact, there also have two types. One is symmetric one. Symmetric one. For example, we use the MAKAUT, use the message authentication code to achieve the authentication, and use a block cipher. We can use the block cipher to design authenticated encryption. But there is no non-duplication. There is no non-duplication. And another is authentication also encryption. There is also public key one. But they use the the difference. The one difference is security can achieve the public key verification and non-duplication. But the authenticated encryption in some time they cannot achieve. So the security is I think is improve. I think is improve of authenticated encryption. This you're right. Hello.
Yes, yes, we are able to hear you. Yes.
Is having any question from the audience?
So the voice is not clear. I think the voice is.
There was 2-3 questions. All questions are almost.
Okay. So thank you, Pagan. Pagan, I am not hearing you. I am not hearing you. Thank you, Pagan, for your valuable speech for the audience and your research direction. Okay. So thank you all the speakers and participants for attending this webinar, and we're having the next webinar on 21st at 6:30 p.m. So I will expect that all participants will be present over there. And from my end, all speakers, my gratitude goes to the all.
Yes, sir, please continue,
My
sir.
gratitude, my gratitude goes to the all speakers for your valuable speech. Help a lot. So now we are going to close the session. And thank you all for taking that on August. Thank you all.
On behalf of the entire webinar team, we are thanking to all the eminent speakers, Sadek sir, Moon sir, and Pangli sir.
Hello.
Thank you for sharing the valuable knowledge, and hope we will be collaborating it further in the upcoming webinars. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Siddharth sir.
You.
Thank you, Moon
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you, Pagan sir.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir. Sir, we have a question and answer session for the audience. So we are giving the links, and after that we will closing the session. Sir, for the eminent speaker, you can leave the session, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Devashish Giri, sir, please.
Tell me.
Sir, we are just closing the session, and we are giving the link to the audience for the quiz and certificates.
Okay. Bhagan and Sadat.
Thank you.
Yes.
Bhagan and Sadat.
Yes, I am here.
Sorry, sir, there is some internet connectivity problem.
Problem, no?
We cannot hear you, sir, right now. Okay, sir, we are closing the session and thank you all eminent speakers for giving your valuable time.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
thank you.
Okay, Bhagan.
We finish here.
I cannot. Can I hear you? Bhagan, can I hear you?
Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Nice. Nice to meet you. So we'll meet again later. So now we are going to close the session.
Yes, sir,
Okay.
yes, sir, yes, sir.
Okay, now I can look out. You're right. I can look out.
For all audience or for all participants, please note down the link of the quiz and the feedback link and the certificate link and the YouTube link. If you want to see the whole video of this session, then you may visit the YouTube link and view the all lecture sessions. And after giving the quiz and feedback link, you will be able to download the certificate, and the certificate link has been given here. So please take note of the link. After giving the feedback form, we are opening the feedback form for half an hour. After that only you will be able to get the feedback, certificates. So kindly take note of the links. Take this screenshot also, it can be possible. Please don't annotate in the links. For all participants, please take the note of the link, quiz link, feedback link, and the e-certificate link. And the video for this session is available on YouTube. Hello. Second Sarkarji, you can announce and you tell me when we will close, okay?
All participants note down the quiz and the feedback link, and it will be available for half an hour. After that, you will get the e-certificate link active within 2 hours. You can also take note of our YouTube link, and you can see it afterwards also in that link. All participants are requested to take down the quiz and the feedback link given in the screen. It will be active for half an hour, and after that you will get the e-certificate link, and it will be available within 2 hours from now. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Moon. Moon sir.
Hello. Yeah. Dr. Devashish, I can hear you.
Moon sir.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Hello.
I can hear you. I
So
can hear
there is
you.
some problem in the computer. So thank you for your presence.
Sorry, my audio is through. I can't hear you properly.
Sir, Devasys sir is
Noise is
telling that yes, sir, due to some weak bandwidth, sir
Yes.
is not able to properly communicate, sir.
Yeah, I mean, do I have to do anything? I mean,
No, sir, no, sir, no, sir. Actually,
you're
Giri sir has some low bandwidth connectivity.
Okay, I
That's why
understand.
sir is telling that it was not so fast for communication. It was some gap in the internet connectivity, sir.
Yeah, we understand that. I mean, we can't help
Professor,
it.
Professor Moon.
Yeah, I can hear you, Dr.
Professor Moon.
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Thank you very much for your presence.
No, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure. My pleasure. Anytime. And we all benefited by the lecture of the experts. Looking forward to many more such lectures.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Sir, with your kind permission, Giri sir, can we close the session?
Yeah. You can close.
Yeah.
Close the session.
Yes, sir. Thank you all. Thank you all participants. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.